right. Good morning, everybody. Happy that you're here. Welcome to Friday. You made it to the end of your week. Or at least close to it. Whatever Friday is, I forget that. If you're like me, Friday's just another day. It's not usually the end of my week. I usually have a few more days to go. But anyway, neither here nor there. What is here is you, and we're on our mats and ready to practice. So thank you for jumping on. Make your little sacred space wherever that might be, and we'll get started here in just a moment. Today we're going to do a little bit shorter, about 45-minute practice, because Mama's got way too many things on the schedule today. So I gotta kind of wham-bam my way through this one, but that's all right because we can still get plenty done in the time that we have together. And especially if I quit talking, so I won't keep you listening for too long. Just want to say a couple things that I always say, and that is practice in a way today so that you can practice again tomorrow. This is the best piece of yoga advice I have ever gotten. I got that advice from my beloved teacher Dave, who is unfortunately no longer in his body, but he's around me all the time. When people ask me, where did you get your teaching style? Where did you do your teacher training? Because you don't teach like anybody else in the Twin Cities. And that's not me, that's other people saying that, which I take as a huge compliment. It's because I didn't train here. I went and trained with my teachers where they live in Arizona, but they're very worldly people. And so anyway, my teacher Dave would always say two things. He would say, practice today so that you can practice tomorrow. Hello, welcome everybody. And he would also say, and remember, do what you do and don't do what you don't do. And it sounds like such a dumb phrase, but it's really pretty wise when you think about it. So if you find yourself in those moments on your mat where you're like, I don't usually do this and I don't know why I'm doing this, don't do it. Stick to what your body likes and what your body knows. There is something to be said for challenging yourself from time to time, and that's cool. You should, try some new things, shake it up a little bit. It's not fun to do the same shit all the time, so make sure that you give yourself a challenge here and there. But first and foremost, just ask yourself, can I breathe? Is it comfortable to take a breath where I'm at right now in this posture? And if the answer is yes, then yeah, try changing it up, try a new challenge. If the answer is no, then stay where you're at and just work on finding your breath, because it really, really, really is the one thing that sets this apart from just stretching or any other type of calisthenics that we could be doing. Yoga is yoga because we're focused so deeply on that connection to the breath. And the connection to the breath is connection to, to your soul. That's what you are, right? You are a whole bunch of breath. And you come into this world on a breath, you're going to go out of this world on a breath, and everyone you get in between is just bonus material, and that you should be grateful for those moments, right? We forget that sometimes and just let life get really complicated on us. So if I could suggest anything today, focus on your breath whenever possible. That's my advice. Do what you do, don't do what you don't do. Practice today so you can practice again tomorrow. Are we ready? Yes? All right. Whew, this cold press is going to kick in about 10 minutes and then and then things are going to get wild. So before that happens, let's slow down for a moment and start on our bellies today. Come on down. If you want to put a blanket or something underneath of you, you can see I kind of put something under my hip bones just because sometimes they're a little tender. And then we'll start in what's oh so sweetly often referred to as crocodile pose. I have no idea why, but Stack up your forearms and put your forehead down, and then just let your whole body behind you relax long. I guess kind of like a crocodile, right? They don't worry about how long that tail is behind them. It just follows them around. So relax everything behind you. Big toes can swing together, heels can flop apart if that feels good as a release for your low back. And then forehead down, and maybe just rocking that forehead ever so softly and gently side to side. Getting some tension to start moving out of your forehead, out of the corners of the eyes. Just rolling right over that third eye center, or what's otherwise known as the space between your eyebrows. And then let that relaxation continue down through your cheekbones and your jaw. Make sure you're not clenching your teeth. Let the sides of your neck relax. And then just settle into stillness and take a couple of deeper breaths here. See if you can get the back side of your body to fill up and empty out. A few more times. Breathe in. And out. One more time. Inhale here. Exhale completely. And then lift your head for just a moment and switch which forearm is on top. Bring it right back down and sink right back to where you left off. Start to give your breath a little bit of sound, a little bit of texture. See if you can put a slight constriction in the back of your throat so that you can really feel the breath moving all the way in. And then exhale out through the nostrils if that's comfortable. You're always welcome to exhale out your mouth as well, especially in the summertime. If you get too warm, exhale out the mouth will help to cool you down. But otherwise, we do want to contain a little bit of that heat in the body. So that's why we're always working with Ujjayi pranayama. The word Ujjayi, by the way, means victorious. And so this is the breath that is said to help you conquer anything. Slow, steady, nasal breathing will help you win any battle. I don't know if that's always true, but it does certainly help calm down your nervous system, and so that's why it's the oftentimes prescribed, selected yoga breath. But if it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. Breathe however you like. Try a couple more. Find a pace and a rhythm with your breathing that feels good. And one more time, slow, steady inhale. Exhale completely. Up your forehead and just walk your forearms in a little bit. Good. Stay perched up here on your elbows, and then let's draw the chin all the way into the chest just to stretch down the back side of the neck pretty deeply. Good. So you're just holding yourself up in a little Sphinx pose here. Roll your right ear to your right shoulder for a breath or two. And then the other way. So today we're going to do what's in the yoga teacher world often called an apex class, which means that we're going to work up to one pose. That's kind of the apex, or the mountaintop of the class. And everything we do up until we get to that point is all just going to help us really feel that one pose as best as possible. And the posture that we're going to work toward today is dancer. Yay! We haven't done dancer in a while, and I woke up thinking about it, so why the hell not? We're going to talk a little bit more about dancer here in a moment, but I want you to just focus here for these next few breaths on making sure that you're feeling pretty good in the neck, the shoulders. If you feel like lifting up and kind of taking a little twist in your upper body would feel good. Just do anything else here. You can thread the needle for a moment. If you want to lay on one shoulder, you can even roll back and make a little twist. Follow your instincts and do what feels good to you for the rest of this minute on your own. Don't worry, it doesn't even have to be a real yoga pose, whatever that means. Just make some shapes with your body that feel good. Rocking around. Don't rush anything. Just do what you need to do, but eventually we're going to meet back on the belly, and you're going to bend your right knee and just find your foot and pull in for a little quad stretch, because if dancer is anything aside from a heart opener and a back bend is really what that pose should feel like, you also have to have a little bit of length in your quads so that when you make that big kick back, that you have space to open up, right? And so if your quads are lengthened out, it does help quite a bit. This hand out in front can really do anything. You can bring your head back down, you can support your head, or you can just kind of prop yourself up like I'm doing here. Not forcing this stretch at all. I'm just kind of letting the weight of my arm sink in to my leg, and gravity's doing the rest of the work, and so is deep breathing, right? That's our one goal, is to make sure we can breathe. And then we'll switch, swing it around the other way. Prop yourself up, reach back, find your left ankle or the top of your foot, and then just ever so softly, let the stretch come to you. Don't go chasing anything down. Try to relax your glutes and keep your frontal hip bones on the mat here. Oftentimes this stretch can kind of wake up people's low back a little bit too. So if you feel like it's too much in your low back, then lay your upper body down and that low back will go away. If it feels good to you, keep a little prop up in your chest and you'll start to stretch into that lumbar spine a bit. Right there for 2. One more. Big breath in. All right, release it, let it go. Slide your hands in, peel your body up slowly, take it all the way back to child's pose. Hips to the heels. Sink in there for a moment or two. And then bring yourself on up. We're going to start on the hands and knees here, a little spinal warm up. So again, when we're thinking about dancer and the correct pronunciation of this posture, You guys know that I'm really passionate about Sanskrit because it is really the oldest language in the world, and it's a dead language. You know, it doesn't get used anymore unless you're using it for yoga or using it in an academic setting, really. So it's important that we preserve it, and the way that you preserve a language is that you really, really try your hardest to make sure that you say the words correctly, right? So we're going to talk about that in a second, but right now I want you to just take your right arm up and make a nice big twist open to the side here. Open your heart center up for a second. And then slowly release the right arm back down. Just move to the left side. Circle the arm all the way up and open. Exhale, right back down. Okay, switch it back out again. Now this time right hand reaches out. Inhale, and then you're gonna lift your left knee up off the mat behind you. It's at about a 90-degree angle, just like that, right? Hold there for a moment. Lift your knee and your thumb a little higher. Breathe, breathe, breathe. 3. So you can start to feel a little bit of that element of Natarajasana. That's how you say this word that means dancer's pose, and it's exceptionally important that you pronounce this word right because it's not just a word, it's somebody's name. So lift up, opposite combination. Breathe, breathe, breathe. 2, 1. You feel how all your back muscles came to life there. We're going to go for it now. Inhale, reach up, and then remember how you circled your arm around a moment ago? Do that until you find your foot behind you. Good. It's opposite hand, opposite foot, so it's not exactly like dancer pose, but pretty close. We want to feel a little stretch across the heart center here. So push your left hand down, pull your heart center up, and then you're going to feel a little wobbly, and that's a good thing. We're just waking up the stabilizer muscles of the body here. So pull your low belly in, Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha. 2, 1, release. Switch it out. Pick up your right knee. Left arm circles all the way around. You want to keep that arm open. See how my hand is still open to the side? Then I can find my foot and kick. Good. Low belly pulls up. Right hand pushes the ground away. You got a little lift in your chest. 3, 2, 1. Release. Good. Let it go. Sit back on your heels. We're going to see that again in a moment, but for now, we're just going to sit back into hero. Lock the hands behind. We'll do a little bit more chest opening here. Pull your knuckles away from your spine. Again, drop your right ear. Just let your head hang for a second. So it's important that we work on these words because they're not ours to fuck up, right? It's much older and bigger than us. 5,000 years of tradition are passed on. And the really cool thing about Sanskrit is that all of the words, all of the sounds in the Sanskrit language are tuned. It really is a tuned language, like an instrument. And so when you say these sounds that make up the words, they're supposed to kind of hit your ear in a very particular way. And when you hear a teacher say something like Natarajasana, it makes you feel different than when someone says, do dancer's pose, right? It has a different feeling to it. All right, now just circle the head around back and forth a couple times. I'm still pulling my knuckles away from the spine just to open up the chest. And then lift your heart up. Put your belly on your thighs. Come forward, take a little bow, forehead to the mat. Or you can roll all the way to the crown of your head. Lift your hips as long as that's not too much pressure for your neck. Go slightly bigger stretch there for 3, 2, and 1. Drop the hips back down. Inhale, use your core to rise. And release. And then put your hands on the mat. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and let's come into our first downward facing dog. So please know that I'm not making fun of other yoga teachers, because if you're trying, then you're one step ahead of most people, right? And it takes a while to learn the sounds. I have to have private Skype lessons with my Sanskrit teacher all the time because it's a constant work in progress. But it does suck when I go to other yoga teachers' classes, or I hear other yoga teachers just butchering the names, mostly just because they haven't taken the time to learn. So I'm going to teach you, right? So today we are working on this posture, Nataraja, and Natarajasana is how we would say the whole name of the pose, because every posture ends with asana. Relax your upper body here, hang loose. And it really is asana, by the way. If you have a yoga teacher that's asking you to do asanas, just correct them. Just tell them, hey, it's asana, not asana. Do them a favor, let them know, because that's not how you say the word. Asana is the word that means pose or posture. It actually literally means seat, if you want to know. And Nataraja, the first part of the word, like I said earlier, come on up and roll with me to stand tall, is the name of a particular, a god, a deity, really. Take your shoulders back. And so anytime that I'm going to back up just a little bit here, roll the shoulders a few times, there we go. Anytime that a deity or somebody from the sort of Hindu pantheon gets a pose, it's because they did something really cool. It's like a tribute to them. And Nataraja is no exception to that rule. I'll keep you waiting on that story for another moment or two. When you're ready, let's do a couple warm-up salutes. Arms come up and over on your inhale. Exhale, fold with me when you're ready. Take a nice big dive down. And half lift and lengthen here. And then step, walk, or hop all the way out to a high plank from wherever you're at. So you might need to step back, you might need to walk out, whatever. Find the top of a push-up. Inhale, draw your low belly muscles in, and exhale, lower down. Pull through, up dog or cobra, lift your heart. If you're coming for up dog, make sure you get your thighs up off the mat, and then back to downward facing dog. Breathe, just a simple warm up there. For 3, 2, 1. Gaze forward, step, walk, or hop. Back to the top and inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Reverse and rise. Again, we're going to do 3 of these to get things moving this morning. Some prana moving through the body. Exhale, fold. And half lift here. Now listen close. Pick up a foot. It doesn't matter which one. Cross it behind you. Grab it with your opposite hand. So I picked up my left foot. I'm going to pick up my right hand then. And then I'm just going to pull my heel in toward my glute and take a little bit deeper forward fold on that right side. I'm still stretching those quads. 2, 1, release. Other way. Cross, right foot lifts, left hand grabs, or vice versa. Pull your navel up and in. Working on those stabilizer muscles again. We're just getting the body prepared for some balancing eventually. And release. Both feet back on the mat, inhale, lengthen. Step, walk, or hop it back. Chaturanga Dandasana, take it down. Up dog or cobra. And exhale, back downward facing dog. Full breath out. Stay right there again for 3, 2, 1. Back to the top. One more time. Surya Namaskar. Lengthen. Exhale, fold, wrap your arms around your legs, go a little bit deeper, give yourself a hug this morning, you deserve it. Might be the only one you get all day. We're living in this no touching time, which sucks. We all need a good hug every now and again. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. Exhale, fold back down, half lift and lengthen. One last time here, you can skip the stretching and just go right through the vinyasa. Take it through. Elbows stay tight to your ribs. Up dog or cobra, and then hold in your back bend. When you come through, I just want you to stay right there for a moment. Let your hips relax, really stretch deep in your low belly, low back. If you're in this up dog version, put your knees and thighs down on the mat. Cobras, you're gonna push up to straight arms if you can. And then everybody swing those hips all the way back to heels and exhale completely. Stay in child's for just a moment. in. Slowly bring yourself back up to hands and knees, all right? So we're gonna go back to what we did earlier and put that into the start of a little flow here. So we're talking about Nataraja. And Nataraja, like I said, was a pretty cool dude. If you know anything, reach your right hand out, inhale, good. Open it up to the side again, make that nice big chest expansion. A bit of a twist. Let's thread the needle 3 times. We're going to scoop underneath, tap the shoulder. 1. Inhale, sweep open. Good. 2. One more time, inhale up. Exhale underneath. 3. Come all the way up on your breath in, and then reach that arm forward at the same time, lift your back knee. Good. All right, so now we're reaching out. You can extend that leg behind you all the way out long. Do a little spinal balance work with me here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. If you know anything about the triad of Hindu gods and goddesses, and just a little bit of Hinduism does make its way into yoga, but it's not part of yoga all the time. Just know that. It's not religion. It's just that it makes its way into the folklore, and it makes its way into the postures because these things show up. After your next breath out, reach back behind you, find that foot again. Lift your heart, breathe. So you've got opposite hand to foot. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Release. Let that foot from behind you go. Put both hands down, and you're going to swing that leg all the way around to the front. There it is, right? Left foot over in the left corner of the mat, and then you can kind of sink down into a deeper hip stretch here. We're going to open those hips up a tad for dancer as well. So anyway, if you know anything about how the triad works, it's always Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, right? Those are the 3 main dudes that everything is based on. Brahma is the creator of all things. Vishnu is the preserver of all things, and Shiva is the oftentimes poorly described as the destroyer, right? Shiva gets a bad rap because he's only destroying things that you believe to be impossible. So that's kind of why Shiva does destroy things, but he destroys things that have to go so that new things can come to life. And Nataraja, for whom we are going to pose today when we make dancer, Nataraja is really just Shiva in disguise. Keep this foot where it's at, but start to turn your toes out a little bit. And then we're gonna come off the back foot and take a big step up and just squat down. Find your first deep squat of the practice, Malasana. If you need to stay up here, that's okay. Do what feels good to you. Remember, practice today so you can practice tomorrow. Right? Hips drop down, hands can be at your heart, and you're just gonna breathe for 5. So anyway, all of those gods, they have all these disguises, or what are called avatars, right? Where they can change into other things and then come down to earth and like do whatever needs to be done. But they can't come in their godly form because it would just be too much for everybody, right? To witness that. And so they have to change into like everyday people or animals, or they have lots of different disguises. Take one more deep breath. And Nataraja, lift your hips up. Exhale, release out of that, is just one disguise of Shiva. And he is known as the Lord of the Dance. Long before there was Michael Flatley's Lord of the Dance, there was Nataraja, the dancer, right? And Nataraja's job really was to come into these moments. I've walked my hands to one side. You're welcome to join me. I'm just going to stretch over one leg for a moment and then take it the other way. Exhale, fold. Good. Back to the middle. Wiggle walk those feet all the way back in, toes and heels to touch. And exhale, relax. We'll take a full vinyasa here. Bring it up to the top. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Little back bend if it feels good. Exhale, dive. Nataraja's job is to come and dance in the face of fear. So that's why dancer's pose is it's not only an awesome, pretty posture, but there's something about it that makes you feel really powerful, right? It makes you feel really fearless. And we'll get there in just a few moments. Step walker, hop back. Take it down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, take it through, downward facing dog, full breath out. Let's do that whole sequence on the other side. Drop down to your knees. Left arm comes up, inhale. So Nataraja would come in and kind of test fate from time to time. Tap your shoulder, your ear, your cheekbone down, and then inhale right back up and open. And oftentimes his presence, Nataraja showing up somewhere, would really lead to like some kind of change, right? Some sort of revolution. Because really, remember, one more time underneath. Inhale, bring it up. Hold it right there. Move that hand forward. Square the shoulders at the same time. You're going to extend the right leg behind you. Little spinal balance. Lift, lift, lift. Get strong. Feel your low belly pull in. Remember that Nataraja is just Shiva in disguise. And Shiva is the destroyer, right? He's the changer. He's the transformer. So whenever Shiva comes around, it means that a revolution is going to happen, that something's going to change. And so lately I've been loving doing poses that are very Shiva-esque, because we are in the midst of that right now in our own lives, you know? So it's good to have some good power stance poses that make you feel really strong. So here we've got this kind of twisted dancer feel where we're holding the opposite foot, but we're still working on lifting up the heart. You feel really kind of powerful as you pull your heart center forward here. Navel pulls up and in, 2. And then you're gonna let go of that foot, put your hands down, and just kind of awkward swing around to the front. We wanna keep the right foot over there in the corner of the mat, and then just come into a deep stretch. So, Nataraja would come around and, like I said, do his little like dance of fate, you know, to try to trick people into something, or he would dance oftentimes, like I said, in the face of fear, and it would start the process. Nataraja would also come and sometimes dance on the grave or on the, you know, on the body of some evil demon once they had fallen. And he shows up in a lot of different stories, but he had a huge role as part of many big changes that happened over time. And so that's why he gets this awesome tribute pose called Dancer. And if you do yourself any favors today, say his name, right, correctly. Nataraja. That's how you say it. Nataraja. Just practice that part, and then you can speed it up. Nataraja. 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 Because sometimes I go to yoga classes and I hear like Nachindrasana, like just every butchering of this poor man's name. Turn your toes out, bring your heels in. And even though he's you know, a fictional deity, he still deserves the respect of us pronouncing his name correctly. So Nataraja, we're gonna see his pose here, I promise, in a few quick moments. Get into that squat one more time. This doesn't seem like a posture that would help us with Dancer, but it really is, because in Dancer, we have to relax all these deep hip inner flexors, is what I'm trying to say, and let them sort of drop down and behind us so that we can relax the belly, pull the heart up, and get that big back bend that happens in Dancer. And so this might seem a little bit strange to do, but it is going to make you feel better. Good, come on out of that, hips up high, exhale completely. Wiggle the toes and heels together. And then slowly roll it up. All right, at the top, you're gonna take your feet, step them a little bit wider, and then just go for one quick supported back bend to make sure that you're ready to go for a Dancer's pose here. We're gonna lift the heart up. Keep lifting the heart, bend back. It doesn't have to be super huge back bend. Just make sure that you can feel how strong your legs are, and it should feel like you have to bend up and back over like a giant wagon wheel, or something's been rolled up against your back and you have to go up and over. And then slowly release. Okay, I think we're ready. Shake it out. Bring your feet together. We're gonna put together one final little flow here, and it'll start with Natarajasana. Arms come up. Stretch long through the sides of your body here. Go ahead, leave your right arm up. Let your left hand just drop out to your side, and it's gonna stay right there for a second. All of your weight shifts into your right foot and simply stand on one leg. See how that feels? This is the part that we always miss. We just go right into the pose and we miss the finding the balance. So find your balance first. Okay? Then kick your left foot out here. Just twist your whole body for a moment. Because what I don't want you to do is turn your arm in any way. I just want you to keep that palm open. So whatever it takes to get your hand to your foot without changing the shape of your wrist, your shoulder, or your forearm. Hold on to it and then zip it all back in. Everything comes back to the middle. Inhale, lengthen. And then do your little victory dance. Start slowly. On the exhale, kick back a little bit, lift your heart up further. Every time you kick back, you lift your heart up further. Exhale, kick, inhale, lift. Exhale, kick. If you fall out like that, it's okay. It just means that you got yourself to new territory, right? To a new edge. Then you just start again. If you never fall out of a yoga pose, then you're probably a little too comfortable in that posture, right? It's good to be comfortable, but you want to find some new things to get excited about, right? So challenge yourself. Kick back a little bit, lift up a little bit. Good. Keep going. You'll hit that edge and you'll go just past it, and you'll try again. It gets easier to come back to every time you do it. 3, 2, 1. Lift up. Good. Let it go. Shake everything loose. Stand tall for a moment. Take a deep breath. Good. Arms come back up and open. Shift all of your weight into your left foot. You're going to stand on one leg. Right arm drops out to the side. Just let it stay just like that. Palm up. So there's a little myth. I don't know if this is just a story that someone made up, but that sometimes Nataraja would get paid for his services, right? Somebody would send Nataraja and they would pay him gold coins. And so oftentimes you hear someone say, open your hand out, give me the money, right? Give me the money. Keep your hand out to the side. Grab your foot. Pull it all in. Squeeze. Start from there. Nice long line of energy through crown of the head, all the way down through your left foot, and then just kick back a little bit. Pause. Breathe. Inhale, lift. Exhale, kick. Maybe go a little further. Inhale, lift. So you're always lifting the heart. Good. If you fall out, you start again. We'll stay here for 5. Keep breathing. 4. Keep kicking, keep kicking. 3. Woo. Some days are good balance days, some days are challenging balance days. Never a bad balance day though, right? Get that vernacular out of your mind. There's no bad yoga. Sometimes it's just harder than others, like everything else in life. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let it go. We're gonna do it again in a moment, but for now, let's put a little flow together. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, dive. Ooh, we're running a little bit short on time, but that's all right. We might end up with closer to 50-minute class today. I can't stop when the yoga's too good. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Take your right leg up high behind you. And hold it there for a moment, open up your hip. Deep breath in. You're gonna swing your right knee to the middle of your mat and set it down. Once it's down, inhale, shift and lift. Good, right arm out. Deep breath in, lift up, come back, find that foot. So this is that little twisted dancer again. Lift your heart center, breathe, breathe, breathe. 2, 1, release. Awkward swing around to the front, plant that foot. Stretch your right leg out behind you, come down, take a deep exhale as close to the ground as you can. Low runner's lunge. Right away on the next breath in, we'll press up, back foot steps and we squat. do something exciting with your arms here, something different than you normally do, right? Whatever. This gets boring after a while. So challenge yourself. By taking your arms up, you're gonna challenge yourself to sit back a little bit. And that's what's hard to do in this pose, is to get your crown of your head over your tailbone. It's pretty tough for most of us. Exhale, hands go down. Listen, left foot swings back, right? Wiggle walk your right foot into the middle of your mat so that you're set up. And come on up for a full lunge. One big breath. Sweep your hands back as you exhale. Lean out over that front leg. Put your back heel down, reverse your warrior all the way up and back. This is your first big warrior pose, so make sure your legs are strong. Got a deep bend in your front knee. Full breath. 2 and 1. Listen close. Circle the hands. Lift off your back foot once your fingertips touch down and take a little standing split. So it's a whole bunch of new information coming at you. And this is the only time we're gonna do it, so just slow everything down right here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. 3, 2. Okay, bend your back knee. Just bend that knee in and slowly see if you can lift yourself off the ground, coming all the way up. Arms reach overhead, inhale. That knee moves forward. On the exhale, find your foot. I'm gonna step back and stay right where you're at. Grab that left foot. Don't think too hard about it now. Pull it in. Exhale, kick. Nataraj. Breathe. Find your balance. Good. Remember, it's always okay to stop. Find the balance first, then come back in. There we go. Keep breathing. 3, 2, fullest expression. Get those toes popping out over your head. And 1. All the way up, feet side by side. Full stretch. One more time through. Last vinyasa of the class right here. Half lift, lengthen, step, walk, or hop back. Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Hold for a breath. Back to downward facing dog. Left leg up nice and high. Swing that left knee down onto your mat. And once you set it down, you're gonna feel your weight shift a little bit. Good, and then left hand reaches out, right leg lifts up. Spinal balance, inhale, pull. Low belly up and in. See how that reminds you of dancer, right? That you're lifting the heart and keeping the belly tight. Find your foot behind you. It's a little bit of a twist there. Keep lifting the heart. 3, 2, and 1. You're gonna release. Set your left foot down. Swing the leg all the way around. Plant it out to the side of your mat and stretch your left leg out long. Deep runner's lunge. Come on in there for a breath. Feels better every time you do it. And then back up to your hands, inhale. We use the squat to switch feet here. So we're gonna step up, squat down, do something exciting with your hands. And then put it back down. Right foot swings behind you. Wiggle walk this left foot in. Find your lunge. Pull up. So all of this musculature underneath your navel is really strong here. Breath Anjane. Sweep the hands back. Lean forward. Unwind, reverse warrior. Spin the hands down. Right there. Square off first. Then lift off of your back foot, standing split. Okay, so here comes the call, right? We're getting the call to go. Dance in the face of fear. So fearlessly, bend your left knee in a little bit. Take your gaze out. Slowly, just pick your hands up off the mat and draw yourself to stand without setting that right foot down if you can. Keep the knee bent. Find your balance as you come all the way up. There we go. Right arm drops. No twisting the wrist or the shoulder. Find the inner arch of your foot. Pull it back. Deep breath in. Lift up. Here we go. Kick. Lift. Then kick. Keep breathing. 5, 4, go a little deeper. 3, challenge yourself. 2, and 1 more. 1, come on up. Both feet back on the ground. Stretch up, inhale. Feel that sense of like fearlessness in your body. There's something about dancer that just makes you feel really powerful. Keep that with you through your day. Take a big forward fold all the way down to the mat. This time when you get to the bottom, half lift, lengthen, and then you're just gonna crouch and curl, drop to a seat, rock it all the way down. When your feet hit the mat, when your butt hits the mat, lift your feet and find boat. One last little piece of work here, Navasana. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your ankles. Just take it into a comfortable Sukhasana forward fold. Stretch out your low back. So the importance of Sanskrit is really even more so important because with a posture just like we did, boat, Nava. Hear how long those A's are? And Minnesotans, you guys are like already better at this than most people because you already make your vowels long. So Nava, long A, a Nava is a boat. Nava, hear how short those A's are? Nava, Nava. If you say the word Alabama, hear how that last A is like, ugh, it just kind of falls out of your mouth. That's the sound. If you say Nava, is the number 9. So spelled exactly the same way, but pronounced with a slight difference in the vowel duration makes it a whole new word, right? So Nava, boat. Nava, number 9. This is why learning something about Sanskrit is important. Inhale, come on up. Take it all the way down, roll it onto your back nice and slow. I'm gonna put just a real short ending on this one and let you guys do your own Shavasana here at the end. We're just gonna take it in, knees to the chest, nice flat back down on the mat. Give the knees a good squeeze. And then if you feel like you want to do a little twist or maybe a happy baby, if you want to roll your feet behind your head for plow or shoulder stand, you've got all kinds of different options here. Just going to ask you to kind of trust your instincts and roll through a few finishing shapes, postures, asanas, right? Nothing too dramatic, just let it all kind of lead you naturally toward Shavasana. And when that time comes, you let your body relax. Take everything out. And I'm not going to rush you there. I want you to just keep working on your own until you're ready. Please take Shavasana. It is muy importante, so do it. I just have to run today, so I'm going to let you go from here. But I hope you enjoyed a little story about Nataraja. And now you know how to say the word, so you can school all your friends about it and go out into the world and dance in the face of fear today. I love you guys. I'll see you very soon. Take good care of yourself. Take good care of each other. Namaste.